Hey guys, how you doing? I know that Border Patrol sounds very exciting, and it is exciting. It's a really great career to have, but I want you to consider these 6 things before you go through the process, even before you take the written test. Think about these things. The first thing is that it's a very high stress job. There's nothing like it. You work in high pressure situations. You're dealing with contraband, right? Human trafficking. You also have the potential for dangerous confrontations, whether you are alone or whether you have backup. People don't always think about this, but part of the job too is that you are exposed to trauma. I remember years ago when I first started in my military experience in law enforcement, I wasn't really aware of the trauma part, but I made many friends also along the border where I worked as well. And so we understood that there was a mutual understanding to trauma that we just weren't aware of at the time. We're naive to it, The excitement of the badge and the uniform and everything else kind of overrode that reality. So just be aware of that. Difficult situations come with part of the job, and so you have to be aware of that. Also, number two is going to be your work schedule and your lifestyle. So that means that your work schedule isn't your regular civilian 9 to 5, right? I always worked from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Then I worked also 3 days in a row from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And that's kind of how it was. And so you have to maintain, people say it's cliche now, the work-life balance, but it's true. If you have a loved one, you really care about, a kid, whatever you have to make sure you maintain that your work-life balance. You don't want to make your job become your life, right? Because the job isn't the life. The career is great. The BP is a great career, but it's not your life. It's a part of your life, right? So make sure you maintain that balance. Now, what I realized when I was in, I noticed quite a few guys, the career became their life, and as a result, they lost people who were important to them. They lost those people because they weren't balancing out the job versus the life at home. So you have to make sure you do that. Also understand too, when you're working, you're going to be working in high traffic areas. You're going to have a lot of stress. So just understand you need to have people in your life to help you bring down that stress. For me, my wife helped me out with that a lot. She's always this person of calmness for me, So when I got home, I got to be around her, and it was very calming for me. So it was good. The assignments, especially when you're new, they're not glamorous. Usually they're in these small border towns, so you're gonna be down there near the border. I laugh because they have this little wish list. Oh, where do you want to work, and I want to work somewhere big. And no, usually you're starting off, as you should, in a small border town where you can, as they say, cut your teeth, right? So you can get your experience, And sometimes too, you're going to get relocated without much notice. You might get 2 weeks, a month at the most, and say, hey, you're going to be over here now for how long period of time it takes, right? But all that really, guys, to me, it's really cool because you get the experience, Also, too, you get the respect, because if you just went right down to San Diego Border Patrol, right, but you never worked a remote area, that won't look too good for you, right? But if you really cut your teeth, say, some little podunk place for like a year, half a year, or whatever, you get a lot more respect because they know you kind of earn your place if you get a bigger, nicer station to work at, right? So just be aware of that. Also, too, the process, the process is big, you guys. I tell you this all the time. From the time you turn in your application to you do the test, that's a big deal. The test is huge. If you guys want help passing the test, click the link below. I have a 115 question Border Patrol test. It's a mock exam. It will help you pass a real test. How do I know? Because 91% of my test takers who take my exam, then take the real exam, pass at a 91% rate. Right now, people who take the tests do not pass at a 34% rate. So my people who take my test pass at a 91% rate. If you want a chance to pass that exam the first time, click the link below. So you have the application, you have the exam, right? You got to go through the interview process, right? From there, they're going to do an extensive background check, and you're going to go through physical, right? The polygraph. Then you go to the academy. So it is a process. And I always tell people to be a little bit patient because it's not overnight. It's a process. So you should be happy it's a process because it means that once you get in, right, you're with the best of the best, right? any kind of clowns didn't make it. So you don't have to worry so much as having, somebody who's not qualified as your backup, as your colleague, as your partner, because they went through the same rigorous process as you. So I want you to understand that, right? Also too, is that you must come in there from the day you do your application, having your mindset, this might be a few months. That's going to help you out a lot. I say this one near the end of the video on purpose because it's very important. I want you to hear this loud and clear. Your career has a high accountability quotient to it. First of all, you have strict ethical standards. Why do you think that is? Well, because you're on the border, right? Wherever you are, it's still a border, right? You have to be bribe proof, right? Intimidation proof, right? You have to be a solo thinker sometimes, a group thinker sometimes. You have to be a person who understands logical reasoning, which is why the test is so full of logical reasoning questions. My exam alone has over 60% of it is logical reasoning. You have to have that talent as well. You got to understand these are high accountability careers, understand? So you have to also be able to understand you will be making at times split-second decisions. So you see sometimes it's so unfair, right? You're out there as a BP agent, you're making this split-second decision. And then what happens sometimes, it comes under scrutiny. These boards have, months to look at your split-second decision and cast an opinion on that decision you made in 1/4 of a second, where they have months to examine and re-examine your behavior, your action, whatever you did. So just understand, these are split-second decisions that sometimes can have life-altering consequences under them, okay? So you gotta understand that. The last thing is investment. Everybody wants to go up the chain. I surely did, right? I surely wanted to go up the chain in my career. But you have to understand that the job of a Border Patrol agent, yes, there is career advancement, but it takes time. And listen, the time is good because the more time you're at any kind of career, the better you are in that career, right? The more respect you're going to get from your colleagues. It's just a lot of stuff that's really, really good. So I mean, it's just a good thing to have. Another thing too you want to think about is that you have to put in 20 years to get your full retirement pension, right? Which is really great. It's kind of cool too. 20 years is not that bad actually, right? But it's not the years you're worrying about. I want you to really think about every day of every week of every month, you're getting more and more experience. That's what you want to do. So those are your 6 things. But overall, I want to tell you this. I respect the fact that you're watching this video because it means you're at least considering this career. It is a rewarding career. So what do I mean? People say, well, what do you mean by rewarding? What does that mean to you? Well, it means to me is that every night that I went home, I know I did something good for my country. I know I was protecting my country, and that means a lot to me. It meant a lot to me then, and it means a lot to me now, which is why I do these videos, because I respect the fact that you want to go out there and protect us who are just regular civilians. That's a big thing to ask somebody to do, and you're doing it. Yeah, you get paid, but still, you're doing it. So I do appreciate that. This is my part to help you guys out, to support you. Last thing here again, take the exam down below. It's going to help you out a lot, guys. You don't want to take a test and get delayed. Go there to my exam, take the pre-exam first, then go to the actual exam, kick butt on it, and keep on going with your process. 34% fail rate means 34% of people didn't pass their exam, and now they have to wait. It's not cool. All right, you guys, great talking to you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.